Hello. So this probably isn't something you're used to hearing me talk about, and I'm pretty much going off script, but I need to talk about the Little Hope ending, because if I don't talk about the Dark Pictures Collection Little Hope ending now, I'm never gonna stop talking about it. I'm never gonna get this ending out of my mind. So, about the ending. What the fuck? Do. Okay, let me go back a second. So, Until Dawn. I loved Until Dawn. I cannot stress how much I loved Until Dawn. Emily is such an annoying character. I love her. And the I thought the Wendigo plot twist was so good because it presents itself as a murder mystery series that's like a standard like murder mystery of like there's a guy in the woods who's killing people, but it's secretly your friend who's like killing people, and you find this out like halfway through the game. But there's little inklings that there's something more going on, and then the Wendigo plot twist. By the way, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers for basically the entire like Until Dawn Dark Pictures collection in this. If you haven't realized, um, then the Wendigos come out, and I'm like, oh yeah! This isn't just like a murder mystery now. This is us fighting against supernatural Wendigos that are absolutely terrifying. The Wendigos in that game are absolutely terrifying, and I love them for it. So, and my favorite part of the Wendigo thing, this is important, I swear. I know this is off script, but this is important to mention. The Wendigo segment, my favorite part is when you're going around like the asylum and shooting Wendigos. You're shooting Wendigos with shotguns and flying them across the insane asylum. It's literally insane. And that's my favorite part of the game. So then Man of Medan happened. And I was actually really excited for Man of Medan. Now, about Man of Medan, they did a plot twist, which was, it wasn't anything supernatural happening, it was gas on the ship that was making people hallucinate. Now, I didn't actually feel that, I'm not pissed at the Man of Medan twist like I am with this Little Hope twist, because you can actually piece it together relatively, I think, pretty well. And it was a big part of the game, too. And I think it worked so well because it was basically the opposite of Until Dawn. Well, Until Dawn this is just a normal murder mystery that turned into a supernatural thing. It was twisting the audience perspective of this is a supernatural thing that's turning into a normal thing. And here's the thing, I didn't like Man of Medan as much as Until Dawn, but I still thought it was okay. You know, the gameplay was okay, but Little Hope started. And Little Hope has probably had one of my favorite introductions to a video game of all time. I'm not talking about the bus segment. I'm talking about the fire segment. And that put the expectations of that game up to 100. I wish I could slap my past self. I swear it. So, you go through and you're like, you can't save the family members. And oh no, this family's dying. And that got me so excited. And the game kept on going, and there was a really interesting, like, reincarnation thing they were doing, which is very similar to, if you haven't played, Dungeons and Dragons, there's this module called Curse of Strahd, and a big part of Curse of Strahd is that some characters are reincarnated as past characters, and I was getting a lot of those vibes. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm enjoying this. See, I related it back to D&D, so this is something I can now talk about. And this was something that was really, really cool. I thought this was really cool. And I loved all the characters. I don't think I've had, and Until Dawn, like, there were characters I didn't like, personally. Well, here's the thing, in Little Hope, I didn't like Taylor, because Taylor did nothing in my game, but I liked Daniel, I liked Dawn, I like Angela. Dawn. John, Angela. I liked Andrew. He was kind of a blank slate, but I was able to latch onto him in the blank slate kind of character way. We'll get to Andrew in a second. I swear to you, I know I'm going on a lot of tangents, but this is important for you to know the pain I went through. So we're playing the game, and this game, LittleHope, gave me something I wanted in Until Dawn again. It gave me the chance to fight the monsters one-on-one. And that put that game from like an 8 to a 10 out of 10 for me. We got to fight. Daniel was fighting his demon self, his like old like demon past self with like he was 1v1ing knifing him, and I was quick timing all those events. John and Angela, they had this really cool scene. John and Angela, the power couple, of them like fighting off demons in the forest. That was so cool. That was literally that's the coolest scene in any of these games so far. And so, we get to the house, and if for those of you who don't know and are only listening to me ramble, which I don't know why you're here. I have nothing to provide, but there's a plot going on of a witch trial, and everyone's blaming it on the child Mary, and there's been like this theme of forgiveness that the curator has been telling you about. And so I'm like, oh wait, is that a corrupt priest using his power to control the town? Haha, nah bitch. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right now is what we're doing. So, I blame the Revenant, as you do, but if you blamed Mary, I completely understand. And the game is essentially over at that point, and we're like walking out of the house, okay, and then John and Taylor, who I don't care that Taylor died, she basically did nothing in my game. Literally everyone else was more helpful than Taylor. But John and Taylor are gone, and I'm sad because I like John, I relate to John. You know, he's just trying to keep the float together. But, so they're attacked by I was like, okay, I gotta get my QTEs ready. But the QTEs don't show up. It's just, they get attacked by their past selves and killed because they weren't good enough people. It literally showed up the traits of the bad things that they were. I was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't save them? But it's like, okay, fine. That's on me. That's on me, okay? Maybe John wasn't the best person. Maybe Taylor wasn't the best person. But at least they went down hating each other's guts. And also their guts all over the floor. So they're walking away. They're walking away. And on the road, we're stopped by Vince. Now, Vince has been a character who has just been a side character, really. He's just kind of just been there. He's just been a guy. That was really it. I kind of predicted that he was going to turn out to be the teenager who was dating Tanya, but I didn't predict this twist. This god-awful twist. So, the twist happens. And we find out that it was all fake. It was all fake. It was all in Andrew Anthony Abraham's head. It was all in his head. And it wasn't, like, the writers on this game have some massive ones, I gotta tell you, to pull this kind of twist. And I just was defeated. I finished the game literally an hour ago, and I'm just now talking about it. It's such a bad twist, because it takes away everything I loved about this game. Like, sure, I can replay the game, and I can see those cool moments again, but part of me is going to know, this isn't gonna matter in the long run, because I haven't made them a good person enough, or if if they even survive, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters because they die in the house without me controlling, or they're not real except for Andrew. I just don't get it. I said I was fine with the Man and Madame twist because that was kind of a predictable one, but it was still a fun time. In Man of Medan, there was still the gold digging plot line. The weird gold plot line, I guess, was a driving force. And then I liked the gold plot line. It allowed for like some real world tension. But then now there's no more real world tension aside from Vince, the random background character who I almost shot. It's just like, I get what the game is going for, okay? The game is going for a stuff about survivor guilt and PTSD and learning from your mistakes and learning to forgive yourself. But it just put a sour taste in my mouth that I did not like. I did not like it at all. Anyway, thank you for coming to my podcast about Man of Medan. um, I probably won't do anything like this again unless you guys like this content. Tell me on the twits if you like me ranting about video games I just played. Oh, yes. Curator, best character. That's it. That's it. Bye. Oh, by the way, I was actually imagining this entire podcast even existing. You're not real, and I'm also 20 years in the future. You've been jinxed.